before we start, it is possible there may be some sarcasm here. But I would just like to say before you get wound up about anything, first of all, don't panic. Like all things Etsy roll out, they are subject to a huge amount of change. And yeah, the latest things over the past few years, when we've complained en masse and pointed out what they've not considered, quite a lot of things have got quietly rolled back. My slight concerns, I noticed there's been some changes to the US shipping thingamajigs. They're trying to convince everyone to use Etsy labels. It's coming worldwide. So I haven't had a chance to talk about this yet. I will probably make a video on it for next week. But my main worry is not this Etsy seller's badge, but think about this. Doing like what our politicians do. I'm not getting political. All of them do it. But there's basically let out some kind of scandal for all the papers to be talking about. And then a couple of weeks later, you're like, when did that legislation come through? What's going on here? So I worry that Etsy has launched this and then is sneaking in other things. So we have to keep the eyes peeled. I shouldn't do a hand gesture for eyes peeled. So there definitely is something happening with US shipping. So I've got to look into that further. Obviously, I don't ship from the US, so weird. But what I wanted to do today, firstly, Etsy emailed me back with my questions about some of my issues, and I got the standard email, but the standard email has a very large amount of information of the whole, here is the things that we're aware of that are wrong so far. Which is amazing. So I thought I'd go through that, and then we'd go through the question and answer from the forums. They started answering it last night. I was going to go live about them, but it just seemed to take so long for all the data to come through, and it was super late in the UK, so I decided to leave it till today. So we'll go through the Q&A as well. Often there's some interesting little nuggets of information with these kind of things, so we'll keep our eyes peeled. Now, I'm not going to show you the email. Etsy haven't told me I can't share this one. Sometimes on emails you do get the message saying, do not be sharing this kind of thing. But I won't be sharing the actual email. I'll just read it out, but then we will share the Q&A. Let's just check the chat, and then I'm going to dive into my question. Was basically about when I went back and updated my tracking numbers on items that I already posted. I hadn't updated them before because basically by the time I post the item, get home, crash out, get up in the morning, and the item's already with the person. So adding tracking's generally a waste of time, but I added them. And all it did was updated the shipped by date to the date that I added the tracking numbers, even though the items were already there. So I messaged them. I haven't got back to them to say that, of course, their standard reply didn't quite answer me, but there's a lot of good detail in there. So we'll read that. But first of all, let's just see who we've got in the chat. Maria, hello there. Mike, hello from Florida. And Melanie from the Netherlands. Melanie, yeah, they took hours to answer. I guess they would take hours to answer. I just hoped they would start earlier in the day, because in the UK, we're like 5 hours ahead. So if they aren't starting answering until like 5 in the evening, that's like 10 o'clock my time. I think it was about 3 or 4 o'clock their time they started answering, which was far too late. Not fair. I'm in the UK if I'm going to do a live stream. Amina, did I say that right? Oh, interesting name. Hi, Pam, and everyone finally catching a live. Good to see you. And Serena's in the house. Hello there. Okay, so I'll get into this email and then we'll get back into what everyone thinks about it. As I say, this was me talking about how the tracking numbers, how that was a whole farce. And Etsy haven't said I can't share this email. I haven't specifically asked them if I have permission to share it, but hey, if they don't tell me, I can't. Okay, so Hello, we're happy to address your questions about shipping criteria for the star seller. This email provides additional details about possible technical issues. It's a massive long email with the technical issues they figured out already and advice on some of the most common star seller situations. Please check the bold headings to find your issue. A review of your message showed that you'll most likely be helped by the information we've provided here. Yeah, we saw you were mentioning shipping and we just attached the full screen of standard email. We haven't actually checked. If you get to the end of the email and still need help, you'll see instructions for contacting a support specialist. Oh, and by the way, this email, they took 2 days to reply to me without, and obviously this is their first standard reply without anyone thinking about it. So already, Etsy is failing in their star seller badge. And we have a little link to the survey to give details. So first query question, bold, first section of the email, identify orders considered late or untracked. Oh, how to identify orders, right? So it's telling you how to download the spreadsheet from the Star Sellers dashboard page, on-time shipping and tracking, export link and order breakdown. But yeah, it just tells you shipped late, not shipped, yes or no, or things like that. It's not very helpful. Reporting a technical issue with tracking on-time shipping information. We're already at work on several reports of technical issues. I hate being this mean already, but basically it feels like they launched this and then saw all the howls of protest and went, oh, we never thought shipping was different in different countries. Who would have figured? We just thought everybody did the same in every single country. So these include Royal Mail tracking recognition, tracking from additional postage. Oh yeah, I've had lots of people talk about that as well. Or return posting make orders appear as late. Orders showing as late which were shipped on time, tracking not processing correctly, and manually updated shipping dates not reflecting the updated date and appearing late. We're sorry for the trouble. We're working on those now so that the badge launches in September. They're no longer a concern. Yeah, so that, all of this, it kind of annoys me because these are things that they should have been testing from. This should have been fixed before they launched this for us to see it. I mean, obviously they've been working on it. The fact that they've already got 2 months of data on our stuff and things gives me an idea they've been working on this for quite some more time. So they should have tested how the system was working for all other, not just international, but there is a lot of issues with even people shipping American ways. So they should have sorted that out. How the shipping metrics are calculated. It's the percentage of orders that include a tracking number that shows tracking on Etsy or use a shipping label purchased on Etsy. Yeah, we get that. It's the percentage of those things, but we also know you've just told us there's glitches. It's not. On-time shipping message is the percentage of orders that are shipped within your stated processing times. But if you don't use Etsy labels or you don't have tracked stuff, it only decides when you shipped it based on when you fill in your tracking number. What? Absolutely stupid. If you're a seller in Canada, the UK, Australia, or the EU, so that is basically all of the other, well, apart from India, which is a new core market, but that is all of the other core markets that aren't America, then using tracking or a shipping label purchased on Etsy is only required if your order is $10 or more. Outside these countries, tracking information is required for all physical orders. I would love to hear from other countries that aren't included in all of this, how their shipping is, if this works for them, because something that's really difficult is Etsy shipping labels are not available in all countries. It's actually only recently really that they've come out in the UK. So there's a lot of countries that aren't going to be able to do this, and a lot of countries that shipping won't be standard. On-time shipping and tracking metrics are looked at by calculating your orders during each 3-month evaluation period. Yep, we get all that. On the 1st of September, they're going to be looking back at the 3 months previous, and then the 1st of October, it'll be the 3 months before, so that the one extra month will fall off and you'll get the August months. Tracking was entered but is not reflecting on Etsy. There are several possible causes. Yeah, there's the glitch in your system. The shipping carrier may not be supported on Etsy. Yeah, so if you're buying shipping from somewhere that Etsy hasn't sorted out in their system, which sounds like a lot of places, then your tracking's not going to show up. So they're not just saying you have to buy tracking, they're saying you have to buy tracking from somewhere that we've managed to get on our system. So it's saying, please consider using an alternate carrier. Another cause is entering the number maybe not be the tracking number. So if you've made a slight error, that's fair enough. Or there may be an occasional technical issue beyond your control. Yeah, okay. And yes, this is a big one for other people. And I've just had a quick gloss through the Q&A, what they're answering for. Let me give you the heading. Sell custom digital listings using physical item listings. For those of you that don't know, if you sell digital listings, to sell them as digital, they have to be automatically downloadable. So if you sell like a custom drawing or a custom design, or something like that, then you can't at the minute in time put them down as a digital listing, because immediately you have to upload files for the customer, for all customers who buy that listing, that would immediately download. But you have to contact your customer and work with them, and it could take many weeks for this to happen. So you have to put your listing down as a physical item. And if it's a physical item, and if it's more than the $10, then you have to either buy Etsy labels or provide a tracking number. And you can't, because you're going to email it to your customer. Okay, so if you offer custom digital listings and you cannot use the digital listing type, consider using a digital listing with a placeholder file uploaded, which explains the process and further encourages the buyer to submit necessary files. So basically, this is really horrible, because if you're super busy and you have lots and lots of people buying, what's going to happen if you do this? The customer will buy, automatically they'll receive a message to say, download your digital file. They'll download a digital file that'll say, please contact me on this email and we'll work around getting your thing done. So automatically that listing is going to go to your completed listing, your completed sales on Etsy. So it's going to be super difficult to keep track. Like what I do with a lot of my listings is I have different tabs in my sold orders area to let me know which level of the process I'm on, if I'm waiting for the customer to email me, if I'm physically working on this listing, if I'm waiting for approval from the final product, and then when I've shipped it. Hit the mic there. So that totally stops people being able to do that. They have to go through and go like, which ones have I mailed? I've got no way of marking which ones I'm finished with. So you'd have to have an off Etsy system of keeping track of what your customers are doing. Also, this would mean that Etsy would open the feedback timing before you finished your work, especially if you're particularly busy. The feedback would happen because your processing time is instant. Stuff's shipped out instantly. And I worried, like buyer protection as well. You've bought it, it's closed, it's completed. And now what? What if you never hear from the seller again? And all Etsy can do is say like, well, I can see you downloaded the file, everything's done, and close thing. So yeah, I don't like that. Digital items that are created as physical items will still require tracking or shipping label purchased by Etsy. No. moving forward, we encourage you to list them as digital items if they're truly digital. Okay, well, give us the chance to do that. Custom digital items, it's not a big deal. Just, a processing time, and give us a way to upload the files if necessary, or give us a way to explain how we've done it. Unfortunately, those past orders will be considered physical items and require on-time shipping and tracking. So basically, everyone who's in that situation is now, everything that they sold in June and July, they totally have no way of sorting out. They didn't know this was coming. So August, September, October, it'll be November before they have a chance of getting a star seller badge if they find this workaround, which is a bit unfair. Buyer request delay or holiday shipping delays. Seller can update the shipping date once per order. We're aware of possible technical issues where updated shipping dates are not being reflected on the on-time. Okay, so you can change your processing time if a customer's being slow or something, but you can only change it once. So if you were doing some custom work, and it's quite often you can't get hold of a customer for a little while, you get when you finally get hold of them, so you've pushed your processing time forward a bit, you finally get hold of them, and that's cool, but then they ask, can you hold it a little bit longer? Now you're shipping late, and all you're doing is really good customer service. So yeah, but they're also saying, even if you did everything right, it's not quite working. They're investigating the glitch. In-person delivery or local pickup, or use untracked method to ship. We're currently working on an option for sellers to tag the order as pickup, so this can count towards the star seller moving forwards. We'll be sure to let you know once this improvement is ready. Okay. Yeah, so immediately in my head, that says to me that if people wanted to game this system, they could roll their shipping price into the listing price and say free shipping pickup. And they'll be able to click that and post it, and they'll get their stars. Yeah. Currently, tracking methods don't take into account for local pickup, shipping without tracking, if not in a market with an exemption, or in-person delivery. All physical orders must include a valid tracking number or shipping label to be counted positively. I am sure, somebody let me know if you're in a country that does this. I am sure there will be countries that don't have standard shipping, that don't have easy to use tracked shipping, and don't have Etsy shipping labels. So everybody from that country will be excluded. Combining multiple orders into one shipment, I have heard this a lot. When shipping 2 or more orders to the same person in the same package, add the tracking number for the package, and be sure to mark all orders from that buyer complete and add the tracking number on the same day going forwards. I have heard from people that they've done that and the system isn't recognizing that. So that is a glitch. And if you see that happening, message Etsy. Impact of carrier delays. We know things can happen that are outside of the seller's control, like shipping carrier delays. Because of this, we made sure of most of the inputs of on-time shipping are within a seller's control, like adding valid tracking number, using shipping labels purchased on Etsy. We did see in the financial reports, the financial things to shareholders, that Etsy are saying they're moving towards having 90% of their things with shipping, with more better shipping. And this is it. They're forcing us to get shipping labels, or they're trying to. If the carrier is delayed but you've provided valid tracking number or purchased a shipping label and shipped within your process window, then your on-time shipping won't be negatively impacted. But if you can't do these things, you're already being impacted anyway. So that's everything that was in the email. I'm seeing the chat whizzing by, so I'll jump into that in a second. And then we're going into the Q&A with the Etsy staff. There is a link to this in description of this video, but let's see where we've got to. Here. Oh wow, so you guys have been chatting loads. This is fantastic. here. I think, yes, we've got to Serena saying hello. So hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Melanie, oh yeah, they took to 1 a.m. my time. Yes, it's crazy. Amanda, hello. Nice getting to chat to you today. Hi there. Calico College. Leave it to Etsy just to send a copy and paste email. Absolutely. And the fact that you've got to wait. You've got to wait for a couple of days for it when they're telling us to do 24 hours. Hilarious. Amenia, laughing at the massive amount of bugs there are. I'm not surprised the email is a novel. Absolutely. And that's only covering the shipping bugs. There's bugs with everything else as well. Yeah, they really, really should have fixed this before making it live for people. Yeah, Melanie, they're so short-sighted. Tracking might be normal in the US, but we don't have Etsy labels, and my shipping goes from €8. That's not euros. What's that currency? Without, and 24 with tracking. Yeah, so okay, we've already got one. A country where you don't have shipping labels, and to add tracking, it takes it over 3 times. Yeah, it was euros, isn't it? Most of Europe doesn't have Etsy labels. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought at least Europe had. I mean, it was only like, I think 2 years ago that Etsy rolled them out to the UK, which is like the second biggest market, really. So, yeah. Okay. It's absolutely ridiculous to roll this out if you're saying most of Europe doesn't have shipping labels. Wow. Armenia, you're in, is that the Netherlands? Etsy doesn't update shipping, showing pre-transit, even though I manually add tracking once I drop off the package. Etsy's link of your postal service doesn't go to the correct page, but your code does properly, but their link doesn't. Oh, great. So you put in the tracking and then your customer clicks on it and it doesn't work because Etsy doesn't work. Oh, wonderful. Melanie, it shows pre-transit, but my buyer already left a review. Yeah, I mean, seriously, this should trump all of other things. If their system is going, oh no, it's not delivered yet, but you've got a 5-star review. Think about it, Etsy system. Mike, you stopped using Etsy labels January the 1st for a variety of reasons. You now use pirate ship for everything since they sell on more than just Etsy. Yeah, that's a really good point. If you are selling on loads of different platforms, then you're not going to want to use Etsy labels. You want to keep everything in the same place, as it were. Does pirate ship integrate with Etsy? I don't know. I've heard about it a lot. I haven't looked into it. But yeah, that totally makes sense. Oh yes, a Dutchy seller, love it. Yeah, your customers are writing to say they've received their item, but yeah. Melanie, exactly. If they told us before the 3-month start, we would have had a chance. Exactly. If it's a review over 3 months, we really could have done with knowing before the 3 months started, because we're 2/3 of the way through before we even heard. Mike, yeah, this is the best. Oh, I forgot I can actually put the comments up. I'm being silly. You find the whole thing entertaining and refuse to obsess over the seller badge. I totally agree. That is my biggest bit of advice to people. I know people are panicking. Every time Etsy releases something, people feel they have to do it, and you don't. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Don't bend over backwards. Don't try and get this star seller badge at the expense of your customer support. If everything's working for you, then just leave it as is. And I think if most of us ignore this and, well, tell Etsy what a mess they've made of it, I have a feeling this will get quietly rolled back, like the free shipping thing did. Melanie, I'm more afraid about the not influencing ranking Yet part. Yes, I agree. I bet it will influence it in November. They will add changes before the holidays so they make more money pushing large sellers. I really, really hope if they're going to do, I did get the feel, yes, we're not going to do it yet, is a bit worrying. And yes, if it influences ranking, then this is going to be a very annoying thing. However, I'm still not going to overly freak out because the free shipping thing, they told us that absolutely influenced ranking. They were given priority placement for people that did free shipping. Did that affect us? No, because they realized it was a really stupid idea and they rolled it back. So fingers crossed. But yeah, I totally understand that. That yet, not cool. Melanie, a single 4-star review in August. I mean, I can't get the seller badge in September, October, and November. So the entire holiday system. Yeah, to combat a 4-star review, you need 19 5-star reviews. I know it is crazy. And a 4-star review weights impacts you just as heavily as a 1-star review. This is a percent system. To me, I would say you can do a sliding scale. A 5-star review is 100%. A 4-star review is 90%. 90% of the weighting to your whole thing. So if you have 10 reviews and 9 of them are 5-star and 1 of them is 4-star, that's only going to take you down a little bit. That's only going to take you down like 1%. I totally think that should be the case. And a 1-star review takes you way down. That gives you 0% or something. I don't think a 4-star should hurt you as much. Fair enough if they want to give more weight on a 5-star, but some customers never give a 5-star. Even if they're 100% happy with everything, they just don't give a 5-star. And that's not fair. I'm loving it. Yes, Melanie with the maths. Fantastic. On average, around 5 to 10% of buyers leave a review. So you need 200 orders in 3 months to get the 20 reviews to bury that 1-star review. Wow, yeah, that's tough. That's yeah. So that's unlikely in your shop with those kind of metrics. That Serena, you no longer sell on Etsy. You're enjoying hearing about the star seller. You think it's ridiculous. Well, thank you for joining us anyway. You can feel our pain and be happy that you're not involved in it. Yes. Melanie, Etsy knows, but they don't care because these large sellers are making them lots of money. They have a ton of bad reviews, but have so many it doesn't matter. I'll just follow on with this. So if a large competitor wants to cancel out the smaller ones, all they have to do is leave a single 4-star review. Yes. Yes, people can hurt other people doing this. I think buyers can hold sellers hostage a bit more if people are freaking out about this. I will say, though, for long enough, I thought Etsy would treat the big guys a little better because they're making them so much money. And then I saw, it was Bohemian Findings. That was the biggest store on Etsy for a super long time. They were selling the most every single day of every single year, and their shop was shut down. I'm not entirely sure what they did. I do think they possibly did break rules, but basically, I've heard this from reputable places that Etsy doesn't particularly care about the individual big guy either, because like when Bohemian Findings went, people still had hundreds of other shops they could buy from. They didn't start, like, there was no dip in Etsy stats. People still continued buying. They just didn't buy, instead of buying 10 from that one person, they would maybe buy 1 from 10 different shops. So Etsy doesn't even care about the big guy. It cares about the money coming in, but that can come from hundreds of sellers not making enough to make a living, or one seller living life of luxury on a yacht. They don't care. I mean, yeah, people have suggested messaging games. Yeah, I mean, Etsy has to be aware of this because, like, in the first 2 seconds of reading this, immediately I was like, "There's going to be messaging games." I've already seen it in some of the groups I'm in. We're actually having to delete these posts like super quick. Etsy will notice it. Etsy will, like with the hearts games and everything else, they'll put algorithms in place. I don't see anything wrong with if you're at, 94%, like asking your mate to message you. I don't see anything wrong with that, but trying to do it to cover up hundreds of missed messages, no. Javier, anyone sending flat envelopes to the US? USPS is simply not tracking them, even if I send them as trackable. So the customers and I are paying for tracked but not getting it. Yes, I've heard that as well. Quite a lot of people say that. Actually, for myself, half the time from the UK, when I buy tracked, it goes parcel shipped. That's great. Parcel at Heathrow or wherever it's flying out from, and then nothing. That's it. It goes into the void until the seller tells me they've got it. So yeah, the paying double, triple the price when the tracking's not even getting updated. And I do find it's not been bad lately, but when times are busy or, sorry to say, when pandemics are happening and the staffs are super stressed out, they're going to not be scanning things so much of a priority. And if you've got the mail from someone else's country that the money, it was paid for in the UK, the US Postal Service don't get any money for that. It's just a reciprocal arrangement. Well, they do get money, but it's not the same. So they're going to prioritize scanning their own items, so our parcels, they get there, but they're not. I've never heard, like, when Americans talk about their items sort of going missing and stuff, people will say, oh, phone the post office and they'll have the GPS code, you'll be able to tell exactly where it was delivered to. I've never heard of that happening with our parcels. Melanie, yes, you don't care for now. I'm sure it'll push big sellers that don't make handmade items but just resell. Yeah, I hope it hurts people who aren't doing things that should be on Etsy. But yeah, it's easy to kill your small competitors just now. Just leave a 4-star review and you're set for 3 months. I know. I was so careful in the first few videos I made of this, like trying not to mention any of these things because I didn't want to give people ideas, but people have ideas. Yeah. And also, I mean, even, how is Etsy going to police that? They say, they'll look into systems and they'll stop that kind of thing happening. But how would they police that? Are they going to start looking at people who buy from similar shops as them? Because some communities of sellers do like to buy from other similar people. They enjoy the type of thing they make. Yeah. Yeah, so every shop with less than around 200 sales in 3 months, which is most people. Like, and this is the thing that people don't believe. Most people on Etsy are not making big sales. You hear from the people that are making big sales because that's the ones you want to hear from. That's the ones you want to know about. I can't remember the exact numbers, but the average of what people are making on Etsy, the average. So there's a lot of people lower and there's people higher, but it's that little bell curve. But your average, she says, not drawing a bell curve. But anyway, your average is not even slightly a living wage. People make more money on average. People make more money renting out a bedroom on whatever the app is, which I've totally forgot, than they do selling on Etsy. Yeah. Oh, Javier, yes, I've heard this. People typing into the tracking, non-tracking. You've tried the non-tracking trick, and for the moment, it's working. You simply put non-tracking into the tracking code, and it's counting fine. Ooh. Now, that would be an okay workaround for me. If they accepted it as you've posted the item, it's fine to have a code. Oh, Melanie, thank you so much for checking that. There are only 6 countries around the world that have Etsy shipping labels. Wow. Samantha, thanks. Yeah, I haven't looked into the prices yet. You use Etsy labels as it's the same price as Royal Mail. If it was more expensive, I wouldn't use them. Yeah, that's good. It's the same price. My issues with that is I go into my post office and I buy shipping from my post office. And my understanding from them is if you buy shipping labels, the Royal Mail get paid because Etsy isn't aware that they're 2 different companies. And the post office is obliged to take these, but they don't get paid for them. They get a little bit of money if you buy over the counter, but if you've already bought the labels, the post office don't get them. Also, the last time I tried it, they wouldn't accept them at all. So hopefully that's been sorted because I'm going to try. Oh, good out. Yeah, Maria, Pirate Ship does update the tracking. Thank you so much. Melanie, yeah, I find it hideous. They start counting over the summer. Most of us are on holiday at some part or have slow sales. I'm not worried yet, but it is a threat. I think that's a threat. It's a thread, but a threat. This is a difficult one. I am glad that Etsy bring things out not at the Christmas season. So they usually bring things out over the summer. Unfortunately, the way this one works is in reality, because we've only known August, September, October. Yeah. So in reality, we're only getting a chance to join in this trend for November, really. Because if we had to make some tweaks that don't benefit our customers in any way, but if we've had to make some tweaks to try and do good on the star seller thing, we've got 3 months to wait, so we won't be getting our badge till November. Hopefully, they aren't actually ever going to use it for ranking. If they are, then just now I'm just like, oh, this is silly. But if they do use this for how you rank in search, I will be kicking up fuss, lots of fuss. A Javier, yeah, exactly. Right now, we'd rather not get a review at all than get a 4-star review. It's better not to get a review than to get a really good one. Yeah. Oh, Samantha, you qualified. Yay. So, you're like the first person on any of these streams that says you've qualified. You qualified for the badge today with 95 to 100% across the board. No, I don't hate you at all. Hey, I think it's fantastic. And of course, for where the systems work for you, where shipping labels are working, where trackings works, where you are and everything, the system's fine. I think it's great. And yes, with the exception of the 4 stars, that's not fair. But in general, yeah, it's fair enough and it's good and enjoy it. But so you're just making me make hissing noises at you. Yes, Melanie, yes. Good point. If you have an old version of the app, which some phones can't update to a more modern version of the app, you can only give 4 stars. So if you're buying from people on the old app, don't leave them reviews. Even if they're begging for reviews, don't leave them reviews. And yeah, I mean, yeah, same. The people, yeah, they should have fixed the issues with the app before launching this, or weight the stars differently, so 4 stars isn't as bad as 1 star. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I totally. It would be more logical to fix existing bugs before piling on more bugs on top of all bugs on top of all bugs. Yes, a lot of bugs there, but I completely agree. there are some things that really need fixed. I think shipping labels should be rolled out to more countries rather than bully us into accepting them. Make sure that they work properly. Don't roll out something like this when tracking isn't working, when so many things aren't working yet. Get all these things fixed first. Um, I bet Josh wouldn't get a star CEO badge. I know, no badge for you, Josh. Yes, we should all rate Josh. um, JV, regarding the USPS, I can never say those letters right. USPS. I get the message. USPS tracking is unavailable for this product for Spain. Yes, I have heard people from Spain say that tracking is like impossible, which yeah, is rubbish. So message Etsy. Everybody I know their inboxes are blowing up. Take the survey, put in all the issues that you see, and yeah, totally go shout at Etsy. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you feel sorry for the post office workers. Agree, yes. From the projections I've read with Delta, this holiday season is expected to be even worse than last year's. I hope not. I'm not an expert on this lager lurgy type thing, but I will say, here in Scotland, we had Delta um, about a month and a half ago. Cases really started to rise, and I hope everywhere else that is struggling with this has the same kind of thing. Our numbers really went high, but they dropped down really quickly as well. We're definitely not over it. It's not gone away, but our restrictions have been being lifted, and stuff like that, and still the numbers aren't as horrific as we feared. So I hope Delta for everyone else is a kind of burn fast, burn short thing. But I'm not a virologist. I mean, the average you read for Etsy sellers was about $290 a month. I can't remember, but it was definitely not any kind of a living wage. Melanie, a lot of sellers have separate buyer accounts, so you never know. Etsy won't research 4-star reviews or won't delete them because they're not bad reviews. I know, but they start becoming bad reviews if they hurt where they're ranking. Oh, thank you, Armenia. Airbnb. That's the app. Yes, that's a more viable income than Etsy. Yeah. Apart from the fact you have to have strangers in your house. No, not happening. um it's on average. What I think the difference is, though, there's much more of a cap of how much your spare bedroom can make money wise. So people are it's more of a kind of fixed sort of income, whereas Etsy, you have got tons of people who are making like $2 a month, and then there's a load of people who are making thousands a month, and so that makes the average a little more crazy. Yeah, Melanie, rather now than later, true, but they should have told us in May. Yes. Oh wow, Samantha, your post office. Yes, my post office was on a limit of 6 packages in the middle of the pandemic. I get that. I Although I don't see how you standing there for a little bit longer makes you more lurgery. um, you were first forced to buy a label printer for 200 quid. Oh, wow. I've got to do a review. I got a cute little Bleepert label printer. I think it was just under 100. You were always supported by your post office. I was just so gutted. Yeah, I totally understand. I think it was a kind of standard thing. Mine said 6 packages. I think they had to do that. Although a couple of times I went in with more and they accepted it. But yeah, unfortunately, obviously the post office is freaked out quite rightedly. I mean, that was a very exposed position they were in. I will say through the pandemic, the post office I use is very small. They had the postmaster I think it's his wife and his daughter and one other elderly man work there. As soon as everything happened, the elderly man was out for about 5 months. They furloughed him because he was old, and his wife and his daughter didn't come in. So for the biggest bit of lockdown, the postmaster worked constantly by himself, and yeah, it was like, well done him. So that was awesome. Um, oh, Olivius, you had one late response and it didn't qualify. Oh, that's rubbish. Yeah, that's pain. Um, oh goodness, that's a fantastic name. Aesti? I don't know. Please help me with the pronunciation, but that's great. The UK does have a pretty high vaccination percent. Absolutely, but everyone else is hopefully getting there. But fingers crossed that Delta's not too bad. Samantha only started using Tract when I got an ODR ding. Yeah, and the ODR, there's another thing. Something rolled out, everyone freaked out. It went away very quietly. It didn't affect my sales, so it stayed. Marked all my spam messages. Yes, to get to the 100%, you went back. Yes, when this came out, I was on 50% for my messages. I marked them as spam, and just been doing my normal thing, and I'm up to 84% just now for messages. I won't lie, I have some occasional days when I'm just like, I hide my head under the duvet and I just don't feel like responding to messages, and I don't know before it happens that I'm going to feel that way, so I can't put the 24-hour instant response on. I'm just like, no, I don't want to deal with ETC today. So occasionally I am going to get less than 100%, and I don't particularly have mental health problems or stuff, but I can see this actually will not be good for people's mental health, in my opinion. Melanie, yeah, that's sensible. Started with tracking at the start of the lager lurgy. I've already said pandemic. I'm already demonetized. Started with tracking since the start of the pandemic when everything got lost. Yeah, that was sensible. It's expensive, but we're forced to ship everything that's not a letter as a package or tracked, so customs knows what's inside. It's true, actually, with all the changes to the codes and the EU things. The reason I bought the label printer was I was going to buy Etsy shipping labels for EU, and I think from now on I will be buying them for America as well, and then just put in the number. It's not quite tracking, but UK to UK parcels have a code that works as a tracking code. It doesn't track, it just says sent and received. Sorry, microphone. Just says sent and received. They don't do any kind of tracking in between, but it's good enough. Oh, wow, Melanie. Yeah, your keychains are €12 and your shipping is 19.30. Yeah, that's crazy. ISD, you did pretty well on my name. It's Lithuanian. Our names are a bit crazy. Oh, not at all. No, I love all the different names and the history and everything. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I wonder why they put an arbitrary 5 days refresh for auto reply messages. I don't understand. I guess what they're wanting is, for auto reply was just supposed to be a thing of, I'm out of office for the day. I'm out of office for the weekend. They don't want auto reply running all the time, because if you're in your shop, they don't want someone getting an auto reply and then 10 minutes later getting a reply from you. So they just wanted that to be a thing. I didn't even know it existed till like last week. So they only wanted a short-term thing, but now they're basically saying to use it. So yeah, it's a pain to have to remember to go and stick that on. I've never used it. I'm not going to. Oh, Melanie, your sales tanked, but I can't do without tracking. But at least you have 100% score. Yeah, woohoo! 100% score, less sales. I know which I would go for. Oh, it's a pain. Oh, I mean, yeah, no worries at all. Mentioning the big P would demonetize you. No, it's mainly a joke. YouTube listens in machine-wise, listens into our videos, and we should be able to mention these kind of things, but it sometimes throws up. Oh, this is hilarious, actually. I just got a message from them the other day, and they have flagged up one of my videos as not suitable for children. So it's got limited ads and stuff. And the video is part one of how to needle felt a penguin. It's just like, what have I done that's unsuitable there? That was the funniest one. So yeah, that's see for anyone selling on Etsy and think Etsy makes messes. All platforms do. The exact same thing happens. YouTube make changes, everyone complains, and then it doesn't seem to be that big a deal. Javia, this time next year, we'll be talking about the latest Etsy fantastic idea. I know it is kind of a funny thing because views on YouTube get low in the summer, and I'm always I literally I'm sitting saying to my mom, I really need Etsy to do a stupid thing so that I can get views on my videos. Which is so stupid, and then literally days later Etsy goes and does a stupid thing. But yeah, next year there'll be another thing come out in the summer, and we'll have all forgotten about the Star Seller badge, but I still want one. I know, I keep saying that it's not important and don't worry about it, but I do kind of want one. I don't know why. I mean, I didn't even notice. I don't know how long I had the, Top Shop for gifts or whatever, the little thing on my dashboard. And then I noticed it. I was like, oh, that's nice. And now I'm just like, does it really help buyers when they look and go, oh, other people have bought gifts here? I didn't notice an uptick in my sales. It's very kind of patronizing, isn't it? It's being at school and them gold star. Oh, well done. Well done. You didn't hit Tommy in the face today. Gold star. I mean, yeah, dreading what other fun things that come up. JV, you have auto reply for a week. Wow, words. I'm not speaking good. For weekends, for when you make plans to go out and enjoy life, but you haven't been doing much of that lately. Yeah, I know. Not been out. I think most of us haven't had much of a life lately. I mean, YouTube should check its dirty mind. Yes, exactly. To be fair, however, and I don't even have a strong Scottish accent, but any kind of automatic voice recognition recognition is not trained very well on the Scottish accent, and it just seems to go Scottish, therefore you have to be swearing. Trying not to, honestly. Melanie, they might want to keep the badge. It basically replaces ODR and the free shipping thing. Yeah, I mean, this is clearly the thing. ODR didn't work. Free shipping didn't work. Oh, what can we do now? Well, let's see how it goes. Yeah. Oh. Yes, the funniest thing, if you get the badge, you're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to post on your social media. You're not allowed to share. You're not allowed to put on your business cards. There's the word. You're not allowed to put on your business cards. Oh, Ginger. So you caused this Etsy kerfuffle. Yes, absolutely. I was getting my views are down. Etsy. Josh, do a dumb thing for me. Yes, absolutely. But yes, it is just a case. Etsy comes up with its great ideas. I know what it's like in business. You have team managers who aren't happy to just say, hey, things are working. They have to come in and they have to go, we have to change things. We have to keep on driving to make things better. And yeah, you have to keep moving forwards and stuff, but not just by just making a change for the sake of making a change. Yeah. Oh yeah, you prefer this badge to the ODR thing. Yeah, I guess it is fairer than that. Yeah, right, guys. I was going to talk. We'll do a little bit of going through the Q&A. I got so distracted. Thank you so much for the questions. I will still be keeping an eye on that, but I did promise I was going to look at this. At least we can do this first bit and maybe see, because I think the answers get very repetitive. So the first thing that came up, Fido's Flowers, who is absolutely lovely. I've had lots of dealings with her. I can't remember her actual name. Most of the staff are lovely. It's not their fault. So the first thing they put in this Q&A, and this is, again, there's links in the conversation. So, hi all, thanks again for taking the time to share your questions and feedback. In addition to the answers from Etsy staff you'll find below, we wanted to share a summary post to highlight answers to some of the most asked questions. So, in general, why is Etsy rolling out Star Seller? And I'm betting the answer is Pam asked Josh to do a dumb thing to make the internet go boom. Delivering an excellent customer experience is core to selling on our platform. Okay. Star Sellers is a way to recognize and reward Etsy sellers who consistently provide this great customer experience to their buyers. No, because there's lots of great sellers who ain't getting the badge. As part of Star Seller, we'll be providing data and insights so sellers know exactly how they're doing in this area that matter most to customers. I don't think customers care if you buy Etsy shipping labels. I don't. I think Etsy care if you buy Etsy shipping labels. Starting in September this year, we'll introduce a buyer-facing badge for sellers who meet the Star Seller criteria to signal to buyers that Star Sellers have a proven record of providing an excellent customer experience based on the Star Seller criteria: response rate, on-time shipping and tracking, and ratings. Okay, I mean, when they say it like that, do buyers care that their messages get answered? Yep. Do they care that their stuff's going to be shipped on time? Yep. Tracking, I have only ever been asked by American customers, when is my order going to get here? Where is it? The rest of the world understands that tracking isn't a standard thing. And ratings, well, yeah, but they can already see ratings. But fair enough, those three factors might be interesting to customers, but when you go into the weeds of it, do customers care if you use Etsy shipping labels? No. Do customers care if you have a couple of 4-star reviews? No. I was on Amazon today. It was actually Anthony Wolf, the E-rank guy. I was talking to him the other day, and he was talking about, how do you use stars? Do you look at all the other stars? And I was like, no, you don't actually. In general, you look at how many 5-star reviews they are, and then you'll go and look at the 1 and 2-star reviews and see what was wrong and see if that's reasonable. Do I care about 4-star reviews? No, I consider them good. It's like people are going, yep, it's good. How can I be a star seller? Yeah, we know all these numbers. We've gone through these a lot. Is the star seller replacing the old ODR system? Well, yes. Will sellers be penalized in any way outside of not receiving a star seller's badge if they aren't meeting the star seller requirements? No, Star Sellers is not a disciplinary program. Instead, quite the opposite. Low stats will not be penalized. If it does come out that the ranking is impacted, then it is disciplinary if other people are moved up because of something that you can't help. So here we go. Does becoming a star seller impact my search ranking? At this time, eek. Star Seller will not directly impact your search ranking. Oh, something a lot of people have asked. They've said this directly thing. What does this mean? When you say something, we tend to try and be careful with our wordage here. So when we say something doesn't directly impact your search ranking, it's like we do it in E-rank all the time. something like saying, here's a tip, you've only got 2 photos in your listing. You could have 5, you could have more photographs. Now, photographs in your listing don't directly impact your search ranking. That means that Etsy don't look and go, I'm going to put this listing with 10 images higher in the ranking than this listing with 5 images. But it can indirectly impact your ranking because having more photographs helps answer the questions that buyers have, help them become more confident to buy. So if they're more likely to buy, and they're more likely to give a review and everything else, then that builds up your shop and your listing score, and everything will rank a bit higher. So it can indirectly help your search ranking. Outside of search ranking, we plan to introduce buyer-facing star seller badge later this year. Yeah, starting in September to make it easier for buyers to identify and shop from star sellers. Oh, now, to make it easier for buyers to identify and shop from star sellers, does this mean there's going to be a way to filter for only star sellers? Hadn't even thought of that till this very minute. Do keep in mind that a listing's conversion rate, yeah, here we go, can impact the visibility in relevant searches, and the star sellers badge could influence purchase behavior. So that's what they mean by the directly. If a buyer sees that star seller badge and goes, oh, well, that's a cool thing, I'm going to buy from them. How do cancelled or refunded orders work towards my orders and sales? Cancelled orders are not counted towards your minimum threshold for orders or sales. They're also not counted towards your customer service metrics. However, if you refund an order without cancelling it, this will still count towards the metrics. We encourage you to use there's a new process for cancelling. It works great. It was actually really cool. So that is interesting. Now, there is the possibility then, it's what's called Karen check, but in eRank, if you have one of the paid subscriptions, this is just another way people could game the things, but if you have one of the paid subscriptions, you can look into the delivery status. I can't remember exactly what it is, but there is a tool you can look into, and you can look into each of your buyers to see what reviews they've left to people, the number of stars, and what reviews to see if you've got a potentially difficult customer. So, quite simply, if the star seller badge becomes important, you could see people ditching customers. Okay. How does vacation mode affect my eligibility for star seller? Yeah, that's a good point. If you were on vacation for 2 months, turning on vacation mode will not pause your metrics for star sellers on the first of every month. Yeah, so even if you're on holiday, okay, the messages shouldn't be an issue. People can still message people on vacation, can they? I've never put my shop on vacation. But yeah, you've still got the 3 months. So if you were on holiday for 2 months, you've only got 1 month to get all the factors. Response rate in messages. How is response rate calculated? What about time zones? Am I expected to respond to messages on the weekend now too? Your message response rate shows the percentage of initial buyer messages you replied to in 24 hours, just the first message. Yeah, a lot of people worry about this. And this is, to my understanding, it's just the customer sends you a first message and then you reply to it. Or it's not the first message from a customer, it's the first message in that thread. So if they send you a message and then don't reply to that message, but send you a new message, you have to reply to that. I forgot where I was going there. Your response rate is refreshed daily. Oh, so is that in 24 hours? If they message you just before midnight and you don't answer them till 2 a.m., is that the next day? Because that's not 24 hours. When it says it's refreshed daily, that suggests different to me than 24 hours. And if you mark messages as spam, they go bye-bye. making a message unread doesn't count it as new again. If you can't feel you can keep up with the messages, you can set up an auto reply. Yeah, download the app so you can answer messages. This is another thing. Etsy were pushing for more people to download the app. That was in their financial report. So yeah, this is how they're trying to convince it. Or going on vacation mode. Yeah, and using the vacation mode auto reply. So you're still getting messages even if you're in vacation mode. Auto replies are counted towards the response rate. Yeah. And I did see a thing. Have I mentioned it or whatever? But Etsy did mention the whole thing about buyers starting up loads of different messages, and they're saying you should set up like an automatic, well, not an automatic response. You should set up a canned response that says, "I've already answered you in the last message. I've already answered you in this thread." That is not good customer service. That is entirely trying to get your seller badge. It has nothing to do with good customer service. How is shipping stats calculated? What about time zone considerations? The shipping metric is calculated by the percent of orders that include valid tracking number or purchased on Etsy shipping labels that are shipped within your stated processing time. In the US and for sellers listing in United States dollars, they want a tracking number or use the shipping label on all orders. So there's no minimum amount, even if you're shipping something for like 20 cents. I don't know what your lowest shipping price is, but you do have to buy a shipping label or provide a tracking number. If you're in Canada, UK, Australia, or the EU, then you only need to do that if it's more than $10. On-time shipping and tracking is calculated by looking at your orders in the past 3 months, and it's refreshed daily. The cutoff dates are based on your time zones, but they do not take into account days your post office are closed. Etsy does not take into account holidays or anything. So don't have next day shipping, because next day shipping is not always going to be possible. So give yourself a bit of wiggle room. Why are the different tracking requirements for different markets? We know buyers in different countries have different expectations. Don't say rude things, Pam. About what makes a great shipping experience. In the US, tracking is expected amongst the US customer base. Okay, in the US, let me know if you do expect tracking. It certainly seems to have been a thing. There are also low-cost shipping labels and solutions to help sellers ship their orders that don't always exist in markets outside the US. Yeah, that's why the tracking exemption doesn't apply to US sellers. So they're saying, okay, this system works well for the US. We're aware it doesn't work for the rest of the world. But the $10 limit, or that really low limit, I mean, if I was to send to America tracked an item that costs $10 to put in a parcel, it's going to 2 or 3 times the price of the item to put tracking on it. What if the carrier is delayed? Will my on-time shipping be impacted? We know things that can happen that are outside a seller's control, like shipping delays. Because of this, we made sure most of the inputs of on-time shipping are within the seller's control, like adding tracking number, using shipping labels, and shipping within your time. If the carrier is delayed, but you've provided a tracking number or purchased a shipping label and shipped on time, then it won't be negatively impacted. So it's fair enough, but they're wanting tracking numbers, but they're not looking to see if it's tracked. I do local pickup. Will my on-time shipping and tracking be impacted? Currently, on-time shipping and tracking does not account for local pickup. All physical orders must include a valid tracking number or shipping label purchased on Etsy for it to be counted positively towards your on-time shipping and tracking. In the meantime, we're currently working on an option for sellers to tag the order as pickup so this can count. We'll be sure to let you know once this improvement is ready. So they're working for something for local pickup, but they're not working for something for digital. They're not working for something for people who are posting where Etsy labels aren't relevant. Why do you trust that somebody's dropped it off at a seller, but you don't trust that they've dropped it off at a buyer, but you don't trust that they've dropped it off at the post office? Okay. How's the 5-star rating calculated? Yes, we know that, but the bigger question is, why is 4-star hurt you as badly as 1-star? Digital products. Are shops who sell digital items eligible for star seller? Digital orders will not require tracking or shipping labels purchased. But that's only if they list their items as digital. If they have to list their items as physical because Etsy doesn't understand about custom, then yeah. Yeah, so here, I was told I could list them as physical as a workaround. Yeah, and that's what we were told to do before. But now they're telling us that you have a digital file that downloads, or I think what they're saying here, sorry, I'm losing track of reading out loud, but they're saying that either you have an automatic digital file and that closes the order, and that's great, or you have an automatic digital file and what they're buying is sort of their place in the queue, and then they have to pay for the rest of it when you've done, which I hate. If I do a lot of custom work, and I found in the past, if people don't have to pay up front, then they're not serious about buying. They will ask for work when they would just want to see how you did. Whereas if someone has to pay up front, they're determined, they're buying, they want your item, so there's less hassle. But yeah, if they haven't paid up front, people go, oh no, I've changed my mind. So yeah, not cool. Star Seller dashboard is updated once a day. They're refreshed once a day. Oh, badge. Where will the Star Seller badge appear once it launches to buyers? We will be experimenting with a few placements for the Star Seller badge, including testing showing the badge in search results. Can I put this big somewhere? Testing showing the badge in search results. Now this is okay, they're not changing how you rank, but I think it will make a difference if it's showing in search results that you have a Star Seller badge, because if there's like 3 listings that look very similar, but one of them says, "Oh, look, this shop got the gold star from Etsy," that might increase your conversion. So, whereas I thought it was just on your shop page. So yeah, and also on a seller's listing page, shop home, and in buyer marketing like emails as a few examples. Okay, if it's in search results, then the badge is a big deal. But we'll see. Bugs. We've got a team investigating the issues. Yeah, anyway, guys, I think, hang on, I think I'm going to dive back into your questions, but this has taken me so much longer than I expected tonight because you guys have been so great with all the questions and everything, which has been really cool. So, um, I think we will not go through all the Q&A just now. I will either do another live, or um, or I will go through it and make some kind of roundup video of this at some point. So checking the questions again. Oh wow, I think we're talking about where you can show the Star Sellers badge, not the ODR. They can sue you if you talk about it. Oh, Samantha, Josh, do a dumb thing. Oh, Xavier, do you think he really needs an excuse? You might be right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, not sharing part is ridiculous. If I'm getting a well done star, I want to brag about it, especially if Etsy claims it's such a big impact. Absolutely. No, I get you don't want to put it in your business cards and stuff because it's a thing you could lose next month. But when you've got it, like they could even like put a date on it. I'm an Etsy star seller for September. And then you can shout about it in your social media. What I can see, if they do anything, it'll be you're only allowed to use whatever link they give you, which will give you a horrible link that Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest won't like and won't promote. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool to be able to stand up and say, I'm a star seller for September. Oh, Melanie, yeah, I'm sure you're already gone. Sorry, I didn't see the chat, but thank you for joining us. Yeah, they avoided answering a lot. Like the 4-star thing is in the question, but not in the answer. Yeah. Oh, this is brilliant. I not only want to brag, I want a well done sticker. Ginger, has anyone said they're doing this as a way to get the rest of us to use Etsy labels and buy all their shipping through them? Oh, yeah, this is clearly a way to get it for Etsy to get us to buy their shipping labels. This is a very clear thing. Ooh, I went blurry. Hello? Hello. There we go. Don't know what happened there. Yeah, this is clearly a thing to get us to buy their shipping labels. Really, sure, I might consider a shop for a star seller sticker. Hey, can we not get a mug and a t-shirt as well? Delia, hello there. Late to the game, but hi there. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everyone for joining me. I don't usually do videos on a Saturday, so I'm surprised to see anyone. It's great. I mean, yeah, honestly, at this point, Etsy reminds me like a super stern old school teachers who arbitrarily use various degrees of punishment to set an example. I know it does seem overly patronizing. Every new step that comes in seems to be less about this is your own business, you have a shop on our platform, and more about we want to tell you how to do things. I dislike, yes. Oh, Samantha, thank you very much. Yes, there we go. Previous customers can message you on vacation from their order page, but not from your shop page. Okay, cool. But yeah, still that could mean your ratings are dipping if you forgot to set up stuff. ISD, they seem to count USA and other major countries' days off. I've time and time again seen that they expect to ship things on our national holidays. Annoying. Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah, I think they do notice Christmas. They certainly don't notice the Hogmanay type period for the typical drunken Scots. But yes, they are very US centric for the days off. Ginger, you'd like to get a tracking number, but the technology is 40% rubbish. Amazon never gets it right. Yeah, I mean I'm seeing more countries, more companies in the UK are offering shipping, offering tracking. But when you click on it, it just goes, uh, yeah, we're getting your parcel. It'll be here soon. Um, but some are really good. I mean, I don't know, some of it's really good. Like I get a text in the morning from Royal Mail saying we'll be here between 10 and 12 or something, which is like amazing. And then they text to say it's delivered. And some of them like can't tell you anything at all. Samantha, top tip. Thank you. I like top tips. You lost 2% on tracking because a few orders didn't have a processing time. When marking a new listing on your app, it doesn't attach your processing time. Do it on the browser. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that is definitely a glitch with the app then. Thank you. Definitely a top tip. JVR, do any of you have their shop set? Excuse me. Do any of you have their shop set to US dollars? I do, and my main reason is that I want the US customers to see a stable pricing because it's my main market. That's a good point. I don't. When we started with Etsy, what everybody's items were shown in US dollars. Things were sold in US dollars, and we had to mess about with the currency afterwards. We had to get PayPal to change it to to pounds for us, but they changed that, and I put in pounds. Yeah, there's another thing that Etsy did that was actually good, and they stopped doing for those not in the US. They were rounding up our prices just that tiny bit to make them round numbers rather than having some kind of random number. But they seem to have stopped doing that. It was cool. It makes Etsy more money as well, but it was cool. Maria, my cheapest shipping for a 1 ounce small padded envelope is $3.12. Oh, yeah, that's such a lot for what could be a really cheap thing. Samantha, yeah, so the star seller will show like the bestseller badge in search. Ridiculous. Well, they are just saying they're thinking of testing it, but that's what it sounds like. And that's the first time I've seen that said. So yeah, not cool. Javier, yeah, well, if the badge shows in search results, it's only a question of time before it impacts the search ranking or before they implement a filter based on star sellers. Yeah, they are certainly suggesting that this could become an issue sooner rather than later. Everybody get your messages into Etsy about the things they've done wrong with this, because if it's going to be a big deal, then we all want to have a level playing field to be able to get it. And we don't want a single customer with a 4-star really good review dropping us down. We don't want that our country's shipping is different and the American, the Etsy people in the US don't understand that. We all want a level playing field, because if it's on the search results page, that is a bigger deal than if it's just on your shop page. James, I'm late to this. Have no idea what Etsy are doing now. Yeah. It's a huge thing. I'll just quickly recap this actually for anyone who's just joined in. But I do have an entire playlist of Etsy Star Seller if you want to hear more about this. But Etsy is starting a new feature that from the 1st of February, sellers will be awarded a star seller badge so that customers will be able to see this. And this is based on many factors, but the main thing is we have to get 95% in these factors that they're looking at. So that is 95% of the time we have to respond to a first message from customers within 24 hours. 95% of the time we have to have 5-star reviews in the previous 5 months. 95% of the time we have to ship orders either with tracking or by purchasing shipping labels from Etsy, and we have to post them on time, regardless if this happens to be on a holiday and Etsy decides we should have been shipping on a bank holiday or something. And you also in the 3 months have had to have made, I think it's 10 sales, and it's about $300 or £200 or whatever that converts into in your own currency. And that will be every 3 months. So the first of every month, they'll check back the previous 3 months and see if you meet all of those factors. And then they'll give you a nice shiny badge, which will show up. Etsy is not really saying they can show it up wherever they want to show it up. So we'll see what happens there. But check out my playlists for anyone who wants to find out more about that. Oh, Javier, thank you so much. consider giving the stream a like. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this, please please give us a like. I think I'm getting to the bottom of the questions, so I will be out of here soon. Laura, yeah, Etsy, let us run our own business. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you're thinking of a whole merch line. I do remember, like, way back when Etsy featured one of your items on the front page, or when they featured a curated treasury that contained one of your items, you did you get, or did people make it for us? People might have made it for us, but there was a badge that we could put in one of our listing photos. Probably some of my listings still have them, but it was, this item was on the Etsy front page, and that was really fun. Like, that was a genuinely cool thing, and it was genuinely rare, and it wasn't something you could game. It was just something that was random. It was cool. But yes, I'm an Etsy star seller. That I can't think of a non-patronizing range of merch for that. Yeah, Ginger, it's true. It's hard to properly list an item on the Sell on Etsy app. Something else is missing too, but you can't remember. Brain fart. I don't understand how people are trying to run their business on a mobile phone. I get it might be all that people have, and mobile phones are so much more powerful than they used to be. The cameras are amazing, but oh, the app is horrific. I couldn't do all of my business on a mobile phone. Please use something better. I mean, yeah, that 10 sales and $300 is another hurdle that will take me another year to reach. Hopefully not. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is something that you can get. I mean, look, everybody needs to start. If you're wanting a good Christmas, start working on your shop just now. I've started doing things, and actually I've got some videos coming out. I've been doing some experiments, and already I've increased my sales. So buyers are out there just now. You totally can do it. And 10 sales over the Christmas period is more than possible. So fingers crossed. Come back in January and tell me how you did. Fingers crossed. JVR, Star Sellers t-shirts, stickers, and hats. Absolutely. I'm so tempted. How long do you think before they're trademarked? Do you think I can do something like totally sarcastic? ISD and the Treasury's front page thing really brought in customers, as opposed to what happens now when you get on a newsletter or say on Etsy, Facebook, Instagram. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know Etsy UK have pinned some of my items on Pinterest, and it gets zero traffic. Etsy doesn't drive very good traffic. But yeah, back in the day when you got on the front page, it was amazing because every single person logging into Etsy saw the same front page at the time. It was getting on the front page was amazing. That's what helped my store the biggest thing. It was cool. I mean, yeah, I'll call the store Snarky Star to somewhat neutralize the patronization. I love that. Snarky Star. Oh, Ginger, you were publicly chided. I don't think I've ever heard that word said. I've only ever read it by another Etsy guru because I won't give Apple a dime. Oh, too right. Yeah. Not the biggest. I'm sure Apple's fine. I just don't do them on principle, because there was a time when, like, all of my friends were buying Apple things and going, wow, look at how amazing this is. It's got that it can go on the internet. And I was like, my phones have been going on the internet for a decade. Why are we being all big deal about this? Or let's pay £200 more for earphones because they're white. Yeah, so I'm not a fan. But I'm sure Apple's fine. But yeah. JV, yep, the Christmas season has started for sellers. It very much has. Things are picking up. So definitely get into your shop, refresh the listings that need refreshing, get in and take those photographs, check out that your stuff's ranking where it needs to be ranking. Start posting new listings. If you have stuff that need to be posted, now is the time to start doing it. Start building up your social media. I'm trying to, I won't say I'm managing quite every day, but I'm trying to make sure I've got a steady stream of stuff at least scheduled to drop. So yeah, but yeah, it's time. Armenia, fingers crossed. Absolutely, that's with you getting your 10 sales at Christmas, I'm sure. Oh, Javy, I've got to. Was it felted star seller badges? I definitely have to felt a sarcastic star. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh goodness me. Yeah. I know you have to spend money to make money, but $1,000 phone makes me have the heebie-jeebies. Oh no way! You could get an awesome computer or laptop for $1,000 that you can do way better on than you can with a phone. I didn't know there were that much. Wow. No. 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 Um. Oh, good, Melanie. Thank you so much for jumping in. Well, I don't think anyone was seriously planning doing much, but I didn't know that you can't sell much. It's in their rules. They will. Wow, I didn't even see those rules. Drat. Okay, so, oh boy. Candice, star seller badge mandatory, tracking on orders over $10 on and on. Yep. Thinking about opening a Shopify store just for the insurance. It's anyone, everyone here should not have Etsy as their only sole source of income. I say that and then people go, I'm a hypocrite, I don't do that. I do that. I don't sell anywhere else other than Etsy because I just simply don't have the time to build up somewhere else. But I do have other sources of income. You're watching you're watching one of them. Etsy isn't my only source of income, and nobody's should be, because as we've seen, Etsy changes all the time, and it's their platform and they can do what they want. But there could well be one day that we're going to wake up and go, no, this platform is no good for me anymore. So yeah, don't rely 100% on Etsy. Have something else. It may not be making you a ton of money just now, but something that you can monetize and it will bring you money sometime in the future. Yes. I mean, yeah, I didn't know the Apple prices were that so expensive. Android is just fine, absolutely. Although I'm so mad because I've been really enjoying Huawei. I can never know how to say it. My last couple of phones have been that because the cameras are so good. And now I think still we can't, the Google's pulled out of supporting Huawei and stuff. So I can't get another one if it ain't going to have Google on it. Like, I need YouTube on my phone. Yeah, Ginger, exactly. An affordable, reasonably smartphone is good enough. Absolutely. Mike, you can't control the feedback by some of these nutty buyers. Yep, so why should I be responsible for it? I know, exactly. You do the best you can. I think it's fair to say, if you've had 100 orders, having most 90%, I don't know, 95%. I don't know the stats for everyone all across Etsy, but it's going to be different for different types of items as well. Some are more or less likely to leave feedback, some are more or less likely to give good or bad feedback. So it's different for everybody anyway. But I don't think it should be as strict as what it is just now. 95% at 5-star is asking too much. Yeah, and USPS doesn't want to scan in the packages, so why am I responsible for some things I can't control? That actually sums it up in a nutshell. I'm not against the idea of a star seller thing if it's a level playing field, but there's so many things here that are out with our control, and not everybody has the same chance to get the star seller badge. So that's where I think it's wrong. We should all have the same chance. Um, I mean, yeah, the Etsy don't have a copyright on stars. So just any star without calling it the star seller badge should be fine. Yeah, true. Cheeky stars and sarcastic stars and all sorts of stars. Melanie, excuse me. Running out of voice. We will be finishing soon. There's a second page in the rules and terms. I think it mentions literally everything you can think of doing. I do remember seeing a different page at one point, and it did say about how you can't use it for like social, like you can't use it to promote yourself. I have to try and find that again. I've been building I'm sorry, I probably say your name different every single time. I've been building my website for almost 2 years. Can't get round to it, too busy on Etsy. Yeah, that's that is the problem. It is difficult, and it is super difficult to run 2 different platforms and stuff. It is twice it's more than twice the work. You've got not just the platform, but then you're thinking what you're gonna do with your social media and everything. So at the very least, make sure you have some way of contacting your customers if it all goes pear-shaped. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Melanie, that totally makes sense. I think they want to control the fake images like sellers do as a fake bestseller badge on the thumbnail. Yeah, I have seen that. People, it's not necessarily fake, but Etsy have the bestseller thing, but people will put on their own thumbnail bestseller because they're saying it's the bestseller in their shop, or well, nobody's checking it. But yes, I get that. Mm. JVR, Shopify is good, but think about the work you'll need to just to be found by customers. I wish I was good at social media. That's it. Everything is difficult. Going alone on your own website is super difficult. Um, that's that's why I suggest that if that's why I like YouTube. If you're a crafty person, I don't even do YouTube properly. I could do so much better on YouTube. But if you're or blogs or something like that, where you can monetize, if you're a crafty person, if you're making stuff, you can monetize your creation, which it sort of takes away even from having to sell the things. You can monetize making tutorials to show people how to make the thing and then sell the thing as well. So that gives an alternative source. Or even just if you're getting in enough sales from Etsy, just set up a mailing list, like set up something right now. And in your message to buyers, at some point, just say, if you'd like to keep in touch with me, follow my social media or link up to my mailing list. I'll give you something, I'll give you 10% off. I'll send you an extra sticker. I don't know, whatever's legal. But just so you can at least collect their names. But yeah, social media is tough, but it is one of the biggest ones if you can. Motorola have good cameras as well. I think one of my first ever mobile phones 20 years ago was a Motorola. I'm afraid the trade with C will not stop anytime soon. Yeah, I know. Candice, you still have your iPhone 6D Plus. I can't remember what iPhones were on now. It's a bigger number than that now. May get a Pixel phone next. Yeah, I've heard about them. I'll have to look into it. And buy a new MacBook. Rarely use my phone other than calls or camera, rather buy tools to help me run my business. Absolutely. Yeah, I mainly use my phone for the camera or like to scroll Facebook, but I hardly ever call on the phone. Mike, yeah, Etsy's getting close to us being employees. They control our pay based on how much they advertise. They control our hours, must reply within 24 hours. They control everything. It does start to feel that way. It's not I don't think it's even as nice as that. If we were employees, then we might get paid holidays and sick pay and stuff like that. Um, Donna, I sell very few things, and with me, I don't care. However, if it is a thing, sure, I can understand that it's not always the same playing field. Yeah, hopefully your sales will start picking up. But yes, unfortunately, a lot of people, a majority of sellers, won't sell enough to even participate in this. I think it's sad. Melanie, need to build an email as a backup. Yeah, I honestly thought email lists were a dead thing. They were no good. It's a thing of the past. But I work with eRank as well, and I've seen the results when we put out on the mailing list something about a tool or one of the YouTube videos or something. Just the power that has to drive people to the certain place, and I really didn't think that was possible. But I thought people just spammed mailing lists, but people really do look at them. So yeah, I thought it was something gone, something outdated. It's not. Um, Ginger, and this is why Etsy will never, never go so far as to make us feel like employees, because they ain't going to pay minimum wage. And as we said, the majority of sellers on Etsy don't make enough to count as minimum wage. I mean, yeah. They better start paying me according to the pay standards in the Netherlands. Absolutely, yeah. If they're doing that, can you pick the pay standards of a better country? Because I don't think in America you get decent holidays. That's no good. I know when I speak to people about what we get in the UK, they're kind of dumbfounded. We get a lot of time off, and it still doesn't feel enough. Yeah, email lists still convert the best of any other marketing tools. All the marketing research says that. I mean, I guess yes, it is. It does make sense. There's people that have chose to sign up, that people that want to know about what you're doing. So yeah, it does make sense. So yeah, everyone, we've got to get back. I am slowly building. In fact, I think there should be links in the description of this video to my YouTube Etsy tips email list, and then I'll have to remember how to log into it to actually make emails. But I thought I would do that, and I've put links in my Etsy shop for my Etsy email list. Oh, and I think, yeah, if you sign up for my YouTube email from my YouTube email list, you get a free PDF on building your Etsy shop. Woohoo! Look at me pretending I know how to do marketing. Get the words right. Oh, Armenia, thank you so much. You do like the eRank emails. They're so informative. Oh, okay. I think it's Trisha doing our emails just now. She will be super happy to hear that. Right, guys. I am super sorry I didn't get into the Q&A at all. Really, but we got distracted, which is really good. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining me on a Saturday and having such a great chat. That was totally unexpected. Anyway, I will look into the Q&A, and if there are any bombshells, I will make sure and let you know. If you want to, yeah, by the way, if this is your first time here, I'm Pam Duthie, and if you want to be updated on all the Etsy thingamajiggles, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, come back often, check out my emails, check out my videos on the Star Seller program. I really have to go because I've got no voice, but thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome